Hey adventurers, so today is going to be kind of the other half of a video that I filmed and released the other day, which was basically series that I'd like to start in 2026. And so this one is series that I'd like to finish in 2026. This one I do only have 10 on the list at the moment, I believe. And that does not mean that there won't be more. That does not mean that there are not more. There actually are a lot more, but these are 10 that for the most part, I am like a book away from the end or something like that, and so I just want to finish them up and make significant progress on a lot of the other series that I'm reading through at the moment. So I've got a 10 on here. At least one of them, two of them have more than one book, but that's all right. Three of them have more than one book. So yeah. Anyways, let's go through these and look at the list that I have. These are in no particular order or anything like that, just in the order of what I wrote down. And so the first one that I have on the list is Greentown by Ray Bradbury. This is actually less of a series and more of three books set in the same town with kind of a little bit of a similarity in that way. And so it's a series in that sense. Greentown consists of Dandelion Wine and Something Wicked This Way Comes are two of the books, and I have already read both of those. And so the other one I believe that remains is Farewell Summer. And so I want to read that one because I loved Dandelion Wine. That was like one of my favorite books that I'd read the year that I read it. Same with Something Wicked This Way Comes. And I really like Bradbury. I've just taken a break from him because I got tired of the short stories. And so I took a break in the second half of 2025, and I want to get back to that, and I want to finish up this series so that I can just mark it off as a series that I've finished. Next one I have is the Leatherstocking Tales. This is the series that includes the Deer Slayer and The Last of the Mohicans, and what's the other two that I've read? The Pathfinder, and then the fourth book that I have read is The Pioneers, and then the fifth book that I have not yet read is The Prairie. And so I need to get back to that and finish up the series because I love this series so much, and I love our character of Natty Bumppo. So yeah, and that's the second series that I need to finish up. Then I have Children of the Consortium. I've read, what are the first two books in the series? Recorder and Aberration, and the third book and final book in this trilogy is Guardian, and so I need to get back to that one, and I don't physically own that one yet, and so I haven't picked it up for that reason, but it's one that I'd like to wrap up this year if possible at all. Legends of the First Empire by Michael J. Oh, I guess I should mention who the Children of the Consortium is by. I should mention who all of these series are by. Greentown, which I think I mentioned, is Ray Bradbury. Leatherstocking Tales is James Fenimore Cooper. Children of the Consortium is Kathy McCrum. And then Legends of the First Empire is Michael J. Sullivan. That's the next one on the list. And I have two books remaining in that series. That is Age of Death and Age of Empire. And so I need to get to both of those. That should absolutely be doable. I probably will get to Age of Death in Q1 of 2026, so it'll be pretty soon here that I continue through that series for sure. Number 5 is The Pendragon Cycle by Stephen R. Lawhead. There's one book that is actually part of the series, and then one that is kind of maybe sort of connected to the series, and that I have not read. So I've read the 5 primary books, which is Taliesin, Merlin, Arthur, Pendragon, and Grail. And I have Aurelia, which was released last year, and there's not an audiobook for it yet, and so I haven't gotten to that one, but I would like to get to that one, whether it's physically or on audio sometime this year if possible. So that's one. But then the other one that is kind of part of the series is Avalon, The Return of King Arthur. And it's like a future following the once and future king aspect of King Arthur, rather than set in the medieval past with where the rest of the story was set. It's set into more like a modern setting or something like that. And so I would like to get to that one just so I can mark it off, because I've heard that it's decent. It's just not as good as the rest of the series. But yeah, I do want to get to that one. What's next? Howl's Moving Castle by Diana Wynne Jones. I've read the first two books, which is Howl's Moving Castle and Castle in the Sky, and the remaining book that I have not read is House of Many Ways. And so I would like to wrap that up because I really enjoyed the first two books, and yeah, I had a lot of fun with those first two books, and I would like to finish up this trilogy because it's one that it would be nice to mark off another series to complete. And it's not going to be a hard one for me to read or complete. I just have to get the audiobook and listen to it. The Adan trilogy by Philip Chase. I have read the first two books, or listened to the first two books in the series, which are the Way of Adan and The Prophet of Adan. And so the final book is The Return to Adan. And so I just need to get that one. I don't believe the audiobook is out yet, and so I'll wait for the audiobook to come out, but that should be sometime in 2026, and then I'll get to that fairly quickly after it comes out. I'm not worried about that one at all, but it is on here, and since it's a trilogy, I would like to wrap that up. I'm not worrying about While Darkness Gathers, I believe is the is a book that comes after the trilogy. I'm not worrying about that one. I'm not considering it part of the series in order to complete this one, even though it kind of is. But I'll get to that one at some point, but I'm not worried about it right now. Then I have the Strange the Dreamer duology. I've read Strange the Dreamer, which is the first book, and the second book in the duology is Muse of Nightmares. I'd just like to wrap it up so that I don't have this series dangling over my head as something that I need to get to. The first book, I enjoyed a lot about the first book. It's not my favorite thing of all time, but I enjoyed a lot about it, and I would like to get back to Muse of Nightmares and finish that one up as well. Then I have Lightbringer by Brent Weeks. I have read the first 4 books, which I'm not going to try and remember the titles of those first 4 books, but the 5th book is The Burning White, and so I need to get to The Burning White and finish this series up. I know a lot of people have very mixed opinions on the 5th book, and it's a pretty disagreed upon ending on whether it's a good ending or not, and so I'm curious to see what I think of it, because I've enjoyed the first 4 books. I have my problems with the books, but overall I've largely enjoyed them, and I'd like to get back to them and finish this series up so I can have another series finished up and removed from my list. And then the final series that I have is the Arthurian Saga by Mary Stewart. This one I have the most books on this list by, and that is 3 books that are remaining in the series. I'm not worried about that at all. I definitely think I can get through 3 books in this series this year. And so the 3 books that are in this one are The Last Enchantment, The Wicked Day, and The Prince and the Pilgrim. So I just need to get to those final 3 books in the series, and I will have wrapped up that one, which will be great. I'm loving going through a significant amount of Arthuriana as much of it as I have been doing recently, and it's been really fun. I've been really enjoying my time with Arthuriana, and I'm having a good time with it for sure. I am about due for another update, another Adventure Through Arthurian Lit update video, and I am just trying to wrap up my current book, which is it's my current ebook, and it is The Histories of the Kings of Britain by Geoffrey of Monmouth. And so I need to wrap that one up because it is Arthuriana as well, and then I can go on and finish this and make an updated video, because I've got several books that it's time for an updated video. But those are 10 series that I would like to finish in 2026, and I absolutely think that this is completely doable with the speed that I go through audiobooks, and the fact that the vast majority of these are audiobooks. I don't doubt or have any fear that I won't be able to complete these. There's just a couple of them that don't have audiobooks, or that I don't have the audiobooks for, or whatever, and those are the only ones that I would be at all remotely worried about not finishing in 2026, but I'm going to try and make it a priority to get through those as quickly as I can. So anyways, that is my list. Thank you guys for watching an Erudite adventure. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. We post videos every Monday and Thursday, and have our social medias linked in the description down below. We'll see you guys again soon. Stay warm.